Sayeret Hullin Daf Mem Tayet Amud Aleph 9 lines down. Hahu Kishaita Ishtakach Bimara. There was a date pit that was found in the gallbladder after they slaughtered an animal. Amar Avashi Ki Havin and Berav Kahana Amar Rabbi Rav Kahana's yeshiva, and he said, Hava Daisim Puna Nakat Va'ate. It came through the natural vascular way and not through puncture because it's too blunt. Avocat Vokanavka now, even though the pit's so big that it can't exit it, but it must have entered there. Mirbaud I feel like maybe it was shaken down through the movements of the animal. V'ani min b'zigla implies the pit date. Date pit. But the olive pit, which is sharper, we do have to worry that it punctured. Rabbi Yochanan, lama neka shema re'ah? Why is a lung called re'ah? Sheme'ira et ha'anayim. Because eating a lung brightens your eyes. It's healthy for your eyes. Ibao had a question. Does that mean eating it plain, or you have to put some spices and herbs that provide medicine? Tashma bring proof that huna brother Yehuda. Amza bezuza bereat v'tebara'ah. When one goose costs one zuz, the lung is worth four zuzim because it's so healthy. Via the one thing that is healthy, it's for eating it plain. Why would you pay one? Why would one guy pay four zuz for the lung? Then could you just buy the whole goose for one zuz. And like this means that the value of when the lung is more valuable is when they put the herbs combined. In Cuba, in if the lung was punctured at a point where the butcher's hand checks the lung after shechita, right? So Talina and Lutnan, do we assume that maybe the butcher was the one who made the hole or not? Yes, we assume it was the butcher. No, we don't, and therefore it's taref. That we do assume the butcher did it. Amar Shmuel beredid Rabbi Rabav. Abba Mereshe Khaled Rafram Hava. My father is one of the heads of the halachot in Rafram. And he also said we assume the butcher did it. Amaru Akmed Lahab Mar Dutra beredid Admari Vilakabilis. They reported that's what he said, that we do assume it was the butcher in front of Mari, and he said no. I don't accept that. It's taref. That makes more sense according to my grandfather that it's the butcher's fault and therefore it's kasher. The hatadin is because it's the same thing we apply that we when we see puncture wounds in an animal after a wolf bit, we assume it's from the wolf and not from anything else. So it's over here as well. We assume that the guy did it with his hand. More now regarding a worm parasite in a lung. We're not sure if the worm punctured the lung from before or not. We assume the worm punctured it and exited beforehand. Therefore, taref. Some things that know what happened afterward. And halacha is that we assume it happened afterward, therefore it's kosher. Rabbi Shimon says the animal with a lung puncture is not taref unless it's punctured all the way through the bronchi. This refers to the primary bronchus, information before is deep inside. Halacha Rabbi Shimon, halacha Rabbi Shimon. Amar le Maluch Arba'a Kamarti. You're saying one second. Are you referring to from the Rabbi Maluch from Arba? In halacha Rabbi Shimon, he says the halacha is not like him. He's like Rabbi Zera when it's there to Israel. Asher Rabbi Bibi Del Ketivik. Amar Rabbi Hanan Maluch Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Shimon. Amar le Lahaya Demar. He says the same. He protested as well. Dana Rabbi Chia Baraba Barabasi. Ikalana the Atred Rabbi Maluch. He said I one time visited Rabbi Maluch. Then we asked him, Yamara Rabbi Shimon, I mean, what's the halacha? Do you say like it's Rabbi Shimon or not? He asked the source himself. Then he told us, he said it's not like Rabbi Shimon. But he's like, okay, what minhag do you have? So back and forth, who holds what and what they hold. The answer is, halacha is not like Rabbi Shimon. Okay, nikeva hakeva. We mentioned if the one of the stomachs is punctured. Amar Beis Nachman Rabbi Oshia. Halev sha'agabeh keva. The fat on this part of the stomach, one of the stomachs called the apomesum, Kohanim nagu b'heter Rabbi Shimon Damar Mishma B'tab. The Kohanim who get this as part of the gifts, they were eating it. It says mutar, according to Rabbi Ishmael said. Ishmael, I remember this was from Rabbi Ishmael. Ishmael Kahana Masai Kahane, because Ishmael the Kohen who helped the Kohanim by tying them in his kosher. Cute way of remembering it. Mahi, where else do we see that Rabbi Ishmael, who's the Kohen, helps other Kohanim? The Talmud says, "Kol tevar refuah b'nei Yisrael." The Torah tells that b'nei Yisrael should be blessed by the Kohanim. Rabbi Ishmael, Rabbi Ishmael says, "The manu b'rachal Yisrael mepi Kohanim." We see that b'nei Yisrael gets blessed from the Kohanim. The Kohanim matan lo minan. We don't know where the Kohanim get blessed from. Kishumar, the pasuk says, "Vani barachem," I will bless them. Avi Omer, Kohanim barachem Yisrael baruch hu v'barach Kohanim. Therefore, we see from here that the Kohanim bless b'nei Yisrael, and Hashem Himself blesses the Kohanim. Rabbi Akiva says. למדנו ברכה ישראל מפי כהנים. We learned the Kohanim are blessed in Israel. מפי גבור לבן אבינו Hashem himself. כשאומר בני חם, אומר כהנים מברכים ישראל והקדוש ברוך הוא מסכים לידם. We see from here, he learned the pasuk saying that Kohanim bnei Israel and Hashem confirmed what they do. So basically, Rabbi Yishmael took that to the next level, and he said that Hashem blesses the Kohanim. But Rabbi Akiva berachal Kohanim, so if that's the case of Kohanim Akiva, where he holds Vani Barachim does not teach you that Hashem blesses the Kohanim, but rather Hashem agrees. Where does he learn that the Kohanim are blessed? He says the pasuk where Hashem told Abraham, "I will bless those who bless you." Since the Kohanim are blessing Bnei Israel, Hashem blesses them. So if that's the case, why is Ishmael helping Kohanim more? They're both getting blessed. Because the Mokila Leberkat Kohanim Makom Brachat Yisrael, because he holds that Bnei Israel, the Kohanim get blessed through the Berkat Kohanim itself. Okay. Rabbi Ishmael Shamar Mishma V'Tav Mahi. When we said Rabbi Ishmael said in the name of his fathers regarding the meat on the halib on the animal's stomach, the abomasum, where do we see that from? The Tanakh? It says Ve'et kol halib asher ala kerev, the fats on the innards. La'avi halib she'agibet dakin. That extra vav includes the fat on the intestines. Divrei Rabbi Ishmael, Rabbi Ishmael. Rabbi Akiva says. Right, so that is with asur, according to Ishmael. Therefore, the fat on the abomasum is not included, and therefore it's mutar. Rabbi Akiva says no. Lahavi halib she'agabe kava, the actual fat on the abomasum, that is asur. Well, it says meaning b'stira. Et kol halib asher akerev. Rabbi Shimon Omer, ma halib ma'aser akerev kurum niklaf. He says just like the fat covering the innards is in a separate membrane that could be peeled. Af kol kirum v'niklaf. So too, since the extra vav connects the two sentences, so anything that is in the membrane can be peeled away. Is included. Just like the fat covers the innards like a drape, which gets pulled away, and it's in a membrane that gets peeled away. So to any fat included with a like a drape and membrane be peeled away. So we see that it's the opposite. Rabbi Akiva allows it, and Rishma says the story. The second version is actually the proper way of the Mishnah. If you're supposed to reverse the first, but I thought I had the opposite. Why would you switch the first one? Maybe you should switch the second one. Why would you assume the second one is correct? Gemara says, Shani Hachat Kevin to Tani Madavka. Because the second part says, just as it brought a proof, meaning the first part just said haha. Second part actually brought a proof. So we assume that's the correct one and the first one was a mistake. Yachir Kibishmael, if that's the case, according to Ishmael, Kivahi. Then when we said that the Kohanim are allowed to eat it, it's not according to Rabbi Ishmael, it's according to Rabbi Akiva. The Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Sha'amar Mishum Avotav Let Lo Sivir. No, he said the name of his father, but he himself doesn't hold of it. He said it's mutar, but he doesn't hold of it. Okay. Marav. Harev, Tahor, Sutem, Tameh, Ve'eno Sutem. Mutar fat can seal a puncture, but asur fat cannot seal a puncture. Rosh Hashanah, both of them. Rabbi Shimon holds that both of them can do it. What's the halacha regarding halib of a wild animal, non-domesticated animal? Halib, the asur fat, only asur and domesticated animal. Davka amar halib, we say only tahor fats can seal a puncture, and therefore the halib of a non-kosher animal, a non-domesticated animal like a deer, technically also mutar, and therefore it should seal it. Maybe we see that the permissible fat is more sticky, and that's why it's a good seal. But and therefore, even the non-domesticated animal is not a good enough seal. It's true. It's the second way of looking at it. It's the problem about the seal, and therefore it's not a good seal. Okay. There's a certain case where With a puncture sealed by forbidden fat that came before Rava. Rava said, "La ma'aneh hushla." Why are you worried about the punctures? For sure, mutar. Hada, first of all, the Amar Shidba Hada Tameh Nam he holds the forbidden fat also concealed. Well, another reason is Hatorah Hasan Olam Hashem's worried about Bnei Israel's money. Because of a certain case in Salat. He says, Rav the Isur Duraita. Rav says it is a Sumi Duraita. And you're saying, oh, Hashem worried about our money. It's granted Hashem worried about money, but that's more that we can't be strict on certain things. But over here we're talking about Duraita fats. You can't say that. One time, when Newman, the guy who deals with pottery, he had a honey pot left uncovered. He came to Rava whether or not I'm allowed to use the honey. Right, if some liquid's left unattended, we have to be worried about it got poisoned by a snake. Marava said, what are we worried about? Had at the time, first of all, we're going to Mishnah, three liquids are asur if we left them exposed. Hayayin v'mayim v'halev, halav, wine, milk, water, and milk. Everything else mutar. Honey is not part of that. Everything mutar. Oh, another thing is, also another reason is Hashem worries about our money. Therefore, we're lenient. What do you mean? The second reason that you gave is because of Hashem worried about money. We're worried about people's life. We worry about money. We're worried about life. Of course, that would overrule it. Where do we see the Rishimon? 10 verses. Five liquids are not worried about exposure. Fish brine, vinegar, oil, honey, and murias, which is like a fatty fish dip. Rabbi Shimon says, you are worried about exposure. I need to eat in a hash I actually myself saw a snake drinking fish brine. I'm gonna go. That snake was rabbit or majnun. They don't need to drink it. Then maybe therefore you can't bring a proof. So now what happens? At least agree with me regarding fish brine that we don't like Rabbi Shimon. Whenever these rabbis would have exposed liquid, they put some fish brine in it to stop the snake from drinking it. So therefore, we obviously hold that fish brine is not worried about exposure. And also, honey as well. Amar says back to him, you should agree with me regarding honey that we always do. The Rishmon ben Nazar agree with him regarding honey. Remember, it says Rishmon ben Nazar also hold that Dvash is a sword. Okay. Amar Nachman. The helmet-shaped fat cannot seal a puncture. Where is this talking about? This refers to the wheat-shaped fat by the backside of the animal. This refers to the fat by the heart muscle, shaped like a helmet. The fats of the stomach, known as the himsa and bar himsa, one is a good seal, one's not a good seal. I don't know which one's which. bar himsa the bar himsa seals, the himsa does not. Amar Rav Tavut, and he says, "This I can't remember which is which." The famous line, "The power of the son is stronger than the father." That's why the bar himsa, technically the son of the himsa, can seal better than the father, which is just himsa. Ay himsa da himsa, which one's which? Tashma da Amar Nachman, inhu mechal achli. He said the Abu Mazim fat people eat in Eretz Yisrael, but not Bavel. He says, can it be Eretz Yisrael eats it? Over here where I say that it won't even seal a puncture. So yeah, even if we may not have been hacked to eat it, but it should be able to work. So we see that the bar himsa is the fat that seals. You see, no, regarding the fat of the bow next to the abomazin, it's like a certain muscle, looks like a bowstring. Everybody agrees that it's a sword. The halacha is regarding the bowstring. The string that looks like the string of the bow. Ignorant version, the attack of the Kulam holds the bow string is mutar. Keep thinking about that was the opposite. No, we were worried about the actual bow. Okay. Make a scene. We skim off fat of the bowstring to eat the rest. He also says the same thing. We skimmed off a little bit of the surface and we served it in the One time standing in front of Hanan, his attendant, he told him, skim off fat from the bowstring and let me eat it. He saw that the guy was nervous. He was hesitating. You must be from Bavel, and therefore you can't eat it. Gum shadeh, if that's the case, cut it off completely and throw it in the garbage. I'm not gonna force you to go against your minhag.